Hey there guys, welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Age Origins. Corb here, and I believe we're starting part 18 today. As you can see, my character's changed. I am now able to wear the Blood Dragon armor, and I'm looking pretty good, if I must say so myself. Looking a little chubby out here with a belt, but that's okay. We know it's not fat. Okay, so, yeah, last episode we saved the circle, we got out of the Fade, all that good stuff. This episode, we're going to start off, we're going to talk to a few of our companions, and then, yeah, we're going to do the Return to Ostagar side mission. After that, I think we're going to return to Arl Eamon. Once we return to Arl Eamon, then we will save Connor. After we save Connor, we will be put on a mission to go to the Urn of Sacred Ashes, so we can actually save Arl Eamon. So let's go ahead and talk to our companions here, guys.
What is your wish, Kadan?
I would like to discuss something you mentioned earlier.
Speak, then.
That's enough for now. I guess there's nothing to say. I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
Do you find Ferelden very strange?
To put it lightly, no one has a place here. Your farmers wish to be merchants. The merchants dream of being nobles, and the nobles become warriors. No one is content to be who they are.
Don't the Kunari ever want to change their lot in life?
What does that accomplish? The farmer who buys a shop is never a merchant. He is always a farmer turned merchant. He carries his old life with him as a turtle carries its shell.
He might be happier.
Happiness is fragile. Nothing can be built upon it that will last. Only duty endures.
You don't think happiness is important?
You can learn to find it in doing your duty, in serving your people. There is no need to search for it. Shall we move on?
Is there anything you like about Ferelden?
There is interesting food here. You have a thing. It doesn't have a word in the Kunari tongue. Little baked things like bread, but sweet and crumbly.
Cookies?
Yes. We have no such things in our lands. This should be remedied.
I'll keep that in mind.
Shall we move on?
You sound a bit homesick.
Perhaps. It's strange to be in a crowd and hear a language that is not your own. To see faces that are and aren't like yours. I miss the smells of Saharon. Tea and incense and the sea. Ferelden smells of wet dogs.
Dogs don't smell that bad.
Skunks don't mind the smell of other skunks either. Shall we move on?
Jeez. Alright, let's go.
As you wish.
Alright, so the man of little words got him to like us a little bit more. One thing I wanted to do with Win. Is that better for... Yeah, we'll give her that. Alright. She looks a little bit better there. Alright, we need to catch her up on... What we give her wine.
A generous gift. Thank you ever so much.
Let's see... What else would she like? Would she like that?
Oh, marvelous.
She did like that. Okay. How about that?
Most kind.
Okay, that's pretty good. We'll give her that.
Most kind.
That.
Most kind.
How about... This is pretty good. Now, Liliana. This belongs to you.
Flowers? Thank you. They're very pretty.
These are your mother's flowers, aren't they?
These were her favorite. I haven't seen these in such a long time. They smell just like Mother used to. Thank you. Thank you so much for remembering.
Alright. So we've got that to Liliana. I don't know what that does.
Most kind.
Okay, that works. If you give it to somebody and they say they can't take it, that means it belongs to somebody else, so...
Most kind.
How about... Liliana, that's probably for you.
Why, thank you so much.
Maybe not.
Oh, how dear of you.
Alright.
Thank you so much.
That belongs to, Zevron, the small gold bar. And then, alright, let's go ahead and give Morgan this black grimoire. That'll open up a lot of storyline.
What? You found Flemeth's grimoire? Ever since we discovered the condition of the Mage's Tower, I had wondered if it might be recoverable, but I had yet to speak of it to you. How fortunate that you found it on your own. You have my thanks. I will begin study of the tome immediately.
What? Don't I even get a kiss?
I suppose something is deserved for all your efforts, is it not?
That's what I'm talking about.
I do not intend to squander this opportunity to learn more than Flemeth wished me to know. This should be interesting.
Alright, Morgan is happy. Alright, we talked to Stin, let's talk to Alistair here.
Something on your mind?
I have some questions.
Of course.
Tell me about the Grey
Such as
Wardens.
they are.
Alright,
About
no more
the Grey
questions.
Wardens, anyhow.
Alistair doesn't have anything
Fair
else to
enough.
say right now,
Something
guys.
on your mind?
Never mind. Alright, Alistair's good. Liliana?
Something I can help with?
Let's see. I'd like to talk to you about something.
Yes? What's on your mind?
Nothing, never mind. Alright, she doesn't have anything to say either. Let's go talk to Morgan really quick, and then we'll go talk to Wynn, because Wynn's going to be the one that has all the conversations, I think, since she just joined the party. I'd like to ask you something.
So, full of questions, are you?
Never mind. I'd like to discuss something personal.
We're in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
We need to discuss us.
Discuss away.
We've never talked about our nights together.
What is there to speak of? Do you wish me to tell you how wonderful you are? Shall I say you are virile and manly?
I just want to know where this is going.
An odd question, is it not? What do you foresee? Marriage? Children? Shall we settle in the countryside? You paint the shed while I bake the bread?
What's so terrible about that?
Are you truly serious? Enough. I have no patience for this sort of blather. If you wish to know something specific, I would prefer you ask it. Otherwise, leave me be.
Okay. Can we talk to her about that again?
We're in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
Discuss us?
Discuss away.
Nothing. Forget I brought it up. Alright, well I guess that's all we can ask her about it now. There we go. Alright, so we've got some allied supply crates.
The Circle of Magi stands ready to assist, Grey Warden, as do the Templars of the Chantry.
Do you need anything?
There are always areas to improve on, Grey Warden. The most useful for my talents are runes.
Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and talk to Wynn here.
It's been a long day. Rest would be welcome.
Are you alright?
Yes, of course. I am just a little weary. As you may have noticed, I'm no spring chicken.
No, you're a person.
Very funny. But in all honesty, I do not know how many years I have left in me. I have lived for such a long time, but there is always something else to do. And I have to keep going in order to do it. I think I will be glad when I am done.
I'm sure you'll be kicking around for years yet.
Oh, I don't know. I really don't. Have you encountered many abominations, apart from the ones in the Circle Tower?
Well, there was Connor.
Ah, yes, Connor, of course. The first time I saw an abomination, my blood turned to ice. It was months before the nightmares stopped. It was the knowledge that I could easily become one of them that frightened me the most.
Seeing a monster that you could be is unsettling, yes.
One slip. All it takes is one slip, and everything you are is simply gone. Replaced by madness. And there is no turning back. Or at least that's what they say.
You have doubts?
Of late, I have begun to wonder if there is any way an abomination can be cured. Or if a mage could be so possessed and still retain their sanity, their humanity.
If one retains one's humanity, one is not an abomination.
Yes, it is madness and cruelty that define abominations. If those are lacking, if the mage remembers the person they truly are, then they are not an abomination. I never saw that. Thank you for showing me another way of looking at it.
Alright, let's talk to one again.
So, tell me, how did you become a Grey Warden?
You know, drank some blood, choked a little bit, as Alistair would say. Arl Howe massacred my family, and Duncan helped me escape.
Arl Rendon Howe? The Arl of Amaranthine? Why would he do such a thing to you?
I am the son of Bryce Cousland, Terran of Highever.
You are the last of the Couslands? I had no idea. My lord?
Don't. I'm just a Grey Warden now.
Yes, I suppose so. You can no longer have a title, can you? But that does not mean you must forget utterly where you came from. Take heart, dear friend. You survived, even when you were not expected to. We do not know yet what lies in store for you, or the name you carry. It is not so bad, is it, being a Grey Warden?
I just hope I can show the strength that Duncan saw in me.
Sometimes it gives me comfort to think that everything will end up the way it's supposed to. That it will be all right. You were chosen. You survived the joining when others did not. Perhaps it was meant to be. I must ask, what does being a Grey Warden mean to you?
I suppose it's about killing as many Darkspawn as possible.
There's that, of course. But there's more to being a Grey Warden than killing Darkspawn and saving the world from the Blight. Ultimately, being a Grey Warden is about serving others. About serving all people, whether elves or dwarves or men.
You mean I serve as a protector?
As a Grey Warden, you are a guardian of men. And you guard them because their continued existence is more important than you are. Thus it is you who serves, not they.
I will keep that in mind.
A good king, a true king who cares for his land, uses his power to rule firmly but fairly. He serves his people first and foremost. The king who does not do this, who believes that he is entitled to his power, who abuses it and uses it for his own means, is a tyrant.
I don't want power. I've never wanted it.
If you live apart from others, and your actions affect only you, then you may do as you wish. But if you have power, influence, and strength, your every action will be as a drop of water in a clear, still pond. The drop causes ripples, and ripples spread. Think of how far they will go, how wide they will become, how will they affect the pond. But I've lectured enough for today. I should stop before I wear out my welcome. You're quite taken with each other, aren't you?
You know about Morgan and me?
Well, she's hardly discreet. The way she looks at you, it's as though she's completely forgotten there's anything of you above the waist.
So what were you going to say about us?
I've noticed your blossoming relationship, and I wanted to ask you where you thought it was going. She is a cunning woman, a Maleficar. She will use you for her own ends.
No, I trust Morrigan.
I am telling you what I see and what my instincts tell me. And even if the feelings you share are genuine, this affair may not be the best thing for either of you. You are a Grey Warden. You have responsibilities which supersede your personal desires.
I'm a human being with emotions, not just a Grey Warden.
Love is ultimately selfish. It demands that one be devoted to a single person who may fully occupy one's mind and heart to the exclusion of all else. A Grey Warden cannot afford to be selfish. You may be forced to make a choice between saving your love and saving everyone else. And then what would you do?
I don't want to have to make that choice.
Nothing is certain. Not in these times. You cannot take anything for granted. I want you to be aware of this.
Morgan and I can handle whatever comes our way.
If you insist, I have given my advice. Do with it what you will.
Well, screw you. I'll talk to you again.
What's on your mind?
Let's see. Are you feeling better now?
Oh, yes, and thank you for asking. I'm feeling much better today.
No, it's only been like 20 minutes, but... I suppose you were just tired then, like you said.
I suppose I must be.
Alright.
What's on your
What
mind?
else you got, Win? I was just thinking about being a Grey Warden.
Is something troubling you?
Sometimes I wish I could go back to my old life.
A Grey Warden should put aside the person that he used to be. It has shaped the person that he is, but he has become something greater. Grey Wardens have no titles. They owe no allegiance to a king or lord. They cannot serve one people. They must serve them all and protect them all. You are one of the 2 surviving Grey Wardens in Ferelden. You defend all of us, and much rests on your shoulders. It may not mean much to you, but thank you for having the courage to continue to fight.
I will be ready when the time comes.
And that gives me hope.
Alright, talk to one again. Whoops.
Have you heard much about the Grey Wardens of old?
I know they were more respected in the old days.
It was said that watching the Wardens ride in on their white griffins was enough to rouse a weary heart and put the dance back in the step of an old man. The Grey Wardens were powerful, feared and respected, but they also inspired the common people. I remember a tale that was told to me many years ago.
Go on.
The Blight had ravaged the land for months, and the armies of the great kings had amassed for one last stand. As the sun burst through the clouds that boiled and churned in the dark sky above, it illuminated a vast, seething horde of darkspawn, with the archdemon at its head. And it was then, when courage seemed to fail, and all lost to death and despair, that the Grey Wardens came. They arrived with the beating of wings like mighty war drums, and stood before the armies of men.
And what happened then?
The Grey Wardens, grim and fearless, marched forth, ever between the men and the encroaching darkspawn. They formed a shield of their own bodies and held that line until the archdemon was dead, and the last darkspawn lay trampled in the dirt. And then, demanding neither reward nor recognition for their sacrifice, the Grey Wardens departed. When the clouds finally rolled back, and the sun shone full upon the blighted ground, the great kings knew that they had lost no men, and none of their blood had been spilled.
I like happy endings.
This is a tale about no battle the Grey Wardens have fought, and yet about them all. They have always defended us from the Darkspawn, taking losses so we do not have to. People may have forgotten over the centuries, but nothing has changed. This knowledge has been blessing and burden to Grey Wardens past, and now it shall be your blessing and your burden.
Alright.
What's on your mind?
As a Grey Warden, I'll never lead a normal life, will I?
No, you won't.
I already knew the answer. I don't know why I asked.
Because you were not looking for the answer, but for someone to tell you that in spite of it, you'll be all right. You wonder sometimes, don't you? If your life would be better if you weren't who you are.
A little.
When I was a young woman in the tower, I came to the realization that the circle would be my life, and I would know no other. Family, love, a simple life. These were things that others took for granted, that I would never have.
And this upset you?
It made me very moody. All I could think of was being trapped in that tower with no way out and no end in sight. I started hating my life and myself, and one night I found myself in the tower's chapel. I was seeking refuge, maybe answers.
Did you find anything?
I must have looked tearful or made some noise, because the revered mother came out and decided to speak to me. And because I had no one else to talk to, I talked to her. I must have said many silly things, but she told me that the Maker puts us all on our paths for a reason, and fighting our intended course is what causes so much anguish.
And that made you feel better?
I thought the old biddy was full of rubbish. I was 15, maybe 16, and I knew everything. So I left, but I always found my way back to that chapel. And as the years passed, I began to see the truth of her words. We were supposed to be polar opposites, mage and priest. But we weren't. There was much about us that was the same.
I suppose the priests have to give up a lot, too.
The revered mother had lived in the chantry all her life, as I had been in the tower for all of mine. She taught me that you can find your family in the people around you, that you can love your work and find fulfillment in duty, and there is joy even in self-sacrifice. If you put others before yourself, then their well-being is yours, and their happiness is your happiness.
That doesn't sound healthy.
It isn't healthy to throw yourself at a pack of darkspawn either in order to save the world. So I'd say you're in no position to judge. You can scream and cry and be angry about life as a Grey Warden, or you can accept it and allow yourself to see the good in it. This is your choice. What's on your mind?
I'd like to ask you something about the circle.
I will answer to the best of my ability.
Why didn't you want to stay at the tower?
The circle is in good hands. Irving knows what to do, and he doesn't need me underfoot. For now, I will support those that battle the Darkspawn. I do feel I left things unfinished in Ostagar. There is so much left to do, and I would be part of it.
I am glad for your company.
The Grey Wardens, all 2 of you, need all the help you can get. I will see this through to the bitter end, and after that, if I am still left standing, then I will return to the circle.
I'm sure you'll be able to return, if you so choose.
Perhaps.
Alright, I think that's
What's
probably
on your
it.
mind?
Nothing, I shouldn't have disturbed you.
It is no trouble.
Alright, I think that's good for now. I'm probably going to make this a separate episode because I know a lot of people don't like talking to companions or whatever. They don't really care about the story that much. So yeah, this will be a separate episode. We're going to go to Ostagar now, guys. So hang tight.